Hello and welcome my fab fans to Glam's new video. I'll be continuing to do diamond art. So a character I really want to cosplay is Zoe from Huntrix, like the K-pop Hunter series movie. It's amazing. I watched it. Apparently I have access to free movies because of the phone I have on something called like Zelvonic. I know none of my friends are capable of using it, and all of them don't have an Android, so I think it's like my phone exclusive. If you have like an Android, you can use it. If you know what app I'm talking about, then you'll understand how many free movies there are. And it's just free with ads. It's great. I would never use it for like a show like an anime and stuff. I'd rather just use the Crunchyroll that a friend gave me. Reminds me, I have to get my laundry. I'll be back. So I did my laundry a little bit. I did half the basket, found a dollar bill. The reason I didn't finish doing it is because of the fact that the rest of it is just socks. Half of my basket is filled with socks, yes. Because that is the main article of clothing that I constantly change too many times a day. I think I go through like 3 pairs of socks a day. Not because I'm sweating or anything, but for textural reasons. I take off my socks, realize I need to do something, put on a different pair of socks because I can't wear an old pair of socks because they feel weird once they're already off. I feel like if I found a random person taking pictures of me, I'd be so freaked out. But also, what is it with delivery drivers and taking photos of their like employees at the place? Don't take a photo of me. I run and duck so fast. I am great at avoiding cameras now. I feel like it's very normal to think housekeeping would snoop on your room. Housekeeping normally would be snooping, okay? They have to make sure everything's clean. Or at least the bare minimum of clean. It only makes sense to me. I like investigation games. They're really interesting to me. But I also know I could never be an investigator. I had like 2 options that I was like willing to do as a job for like a real career, not just like entertainment for fun. And that would be private investigator or psychologist, specifically a therapist. Because I'm good at understanding what people are going through, usually. I've been through a lot, I understand a lot, and I see things in more of an optimistic way. Like, everyone has a chance of redemption. I'm getting through the bottom half really quickly. Ooh, sneaky little note. Just have to change the little gel in my tool. You have to change it every so often so that it can still stick to things. So when I started filming for this, like, diamond art, I kept having computer issues. I just finally filmed a full video, so you won't get to see that unless you watch the previous video. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I bring up some really important topics and some really fun ones too. I talk a lot in some of my videos, and some of them I don't. But I have started editing them so that I cut out a lot of the bigger chunks of silence, so I also cut out anything that is just an intrusive brain thought that I don't want people to hear, because even I did not want to hear the intrusive thought. Why would I share it, you know? But I have to say my intrusive thoughts out loud, otherwise they'll eat me up inside and make me feel like I'm a terrible person because I keep thinking about it. Even though I know it's just my brain telling me how bad things could really be. Also, I have my lamps on for my plants, so everything is like a slight shade of pink now. When it comes down to looking at the numbers. But it actually makes it slightly easier to see everything. I have to keep my hair up most of the time, and so that just makes my head really itchy. And I get like really heavy scabbing on my head when it comes to my eczema. It loves to affect my scalp the most. I feel like they're trolling this YouTuber on in reality. Cause why do they keep giving her the wrong puzzle? And then throwing a puzzle at her. Like, out of everyone, they're fucking with the YouTuber. Yes, I do watch puzzle videos. I like watching puzzle making videos. Not even because it's, like, satisfying, but because I find speed puzzling very entertaining. Because some people are really good at puzzles, and I just realize how much I suck at puzzles. So it's just... I feel like a lot more people should give my personality a chance, though. Because I know at first I seem very abrasive, but I promise once you get to realize that I usually mean no harm, and that I say things badly and wrong, but not mean it in a bad way or in a wrong way, you'll start to be more calm and understanding of disabilities. And also how language means so many different things to different people. The same word in English could mean hundreds of different things, depending on how you say it, who you say it to, and why you're saying it. Like, words are hard. I already struggle enough with, like, understanding tone, because I can't physically hear tone. I'm tone deaf, which a lot of people don't believe me until they, work with me and realize I cannot affect my tone. And it just kind of comes out however my brain decides, hey, shout. Today, my manager was like, don't hand that out. She's ordering that. And I'm like, no, that order's for this one. But I yelled at him and used a tone, apparently, because I saw his face and I was like, I am so sorry, didn't mean to yell. He almost got really upset and then realized it was who said it. He realized, oh wait, it's them. They didn't mean it. They didn't mean to. Because I really don't mean things in a bad way. I'm just really bad at speaking to people and socially awkward. Which is why I tend to try to over-explain things, and then if I don't think hard enough, I end up saying the wrong words and don't mean what I'm saying. So it becomes even worse and more awkward. Because it's just misunderstanding after misunderstanding instead of just, let me calm down, let me breathe, and now let me speak. But I work in a high-stress environment, so I don't have time to think. I just have to do things. And so I don't always have time to think about how I say things, which is not useful at all. And I also have this thing where I mimic how people sound to me, which is not fun, because if I can't hear the tone and I'm still managing to mimic people, my brain is just doing a whole bunch of gymnastics and keeping me out of the loop. Like, it could at least tell me what's up, but it doesn't. My subconscious and my consciousness are completely different sections and don't speak to each other. So I don't know what's going on, ever. But everyone else seems to. I remember I thought about what I was gonna say before, and I still said it wrong. So I kind of just give up on having normal conversations and just hope people understand what I mean. Something I know, though, is as much as I know the basics of chess playing and the basics of puzzle making, I don't think I'll ever be able to be good at those things unless I actively do them regularly. And I don't, so I'm just not gonna get good at those things. I know the basics, but I'm not good at those things because I don't do them. Like how the only reason I'm even slightly good at diamond art or have like a rhythm or can do a decent amount very quickly is because I've been doing diamond art so long that my hands just kind of know what to do, and they're just ready. I can find the numbers really quickly. I can find the parts that I need to place the beads very quickly. Even with like art and drawing, the reason I'm better at some art styles than others is because I've drawn more in some art styles versus drawing in other art styles. Which is why my Mario and my Toon Link look kind of ugly, but also my Bakugo looked really ugly, is because it was my first time trying those art styles. And once I got into like the understanding of how to draw the art styles, like the anime face shape and stuff, which just took practice of drawing the characters until I got good at the specific types of characters and anime styles. And then my Hawks drawing came out beautiful. That was my first MHA drawing that I thought actually looked how it was supposed to. And I was very proud of it. Sure, all of my drawings are really nice, but they're not exactly how I want them to look. But that's not because I'm bad at art, but it's because it's my first time trying the art style, and you can never perfect a style on your first try. It takes multiple tries and practice and constantly drawing to get good at any form of art style. And there are so many kinds of art styles. I hate modern art with a burning passion and shall never do any form of modern art because I think it's hideous and does not deserve a place in art. I know that some people are like, but it's simple, it's pretty, and like, yada yada, and I'm like, it's so boring. It doesn't have enough color, or it's too much going on that it looks messy. I don't like messy things. And I don't like textured art either. I know, like, people with sensory things tend to like certain things that they can feel. Textured art is great for, like, people who can't see, because then they can feel the art. It's not for people like me, who want flat drawings. The only kind of arts that I've ever sold, though, because people don't buy my art often, is sketches. People apparently love my sketches more than my paintings, which, I spend more time on my paintings, more love into those, for them to still not sell, but it's because there's too much color in my paintings, and people like more simplistic things, so they tend to gravitate to my sketch art more. And I get it. Oh, I gotta change the gel in the pen. I don't like this color. It reminds me of mustard. Don't get me wrong, mustard is delicious, but only occasionally. I remember I had a whole conversation about hot wieners, and how if they are a hot dog or a hot wiener depends entirely on the kind of sausage. Because hot wieners are meant to be more sweet, and hot dogs are more savory. Also, my cooking video, I did that because I'm trying to make sure I eat more. Which reminds me, I still have to cook again because I actually need to eat and stuff. So I'll film myself cooking again since it's really in the middle of the night and nobody will bother me anyway, so it doesn't matter. Also, my friend being like, I'm gonna judge your cooking style. And me just being like, okay. And then him realizing, well, I can't judge it because you actually know everything. And I'm just like, yeah, I fucking do. Of course I do. I love food. My mama taught me how to cook, and I still know how. I know flavor profiles. I know what tastes good with what. He ended up writing down my recipe in his cookbook. When I prove to people that I actually know what I'm doing in some cases, is really funny. Like, yeah, I can cook. I just don't like to cook. Is the one thing that catches people off guard. If you're good at something, you don't want to do it all the time or be the designated person people go to for good food. I will state, I do purposely burn my food and meals, which also probably confuses people, but I like overcooked food. I like the taste of it. And I know, for some people, nightmare. But for me, I just genuinely like the taste of burnt stuff. I don't know. Probably why I chose to cosplay Dobby. If you get it, you get it, you know? I'm gonna film another cooking video. Whether I post it or not is really up to whether y'all vote for it. Because I'm already accumulating my next few things to film. Which is a few Lego sets that I really wanted to do anyway. Because sometimes I don't really give you a differentiation between options. I just put things together that I know I wouldn't mind doing. Because if I don't want a specific thing to win, I want a specific activity to win, regardless. Which is why I just put all of the Lego sets together, because I like doing Legos. Same thing with Diamond Art. I love Diamond Art. It's so fun and gratifying, and it is very relaxing to me. I like watching it slowly fill in. And at the end of my night, I just look at my video and I just fast forward it and get to see how awesome it looks, just slowly filling in. And I get to see the before and after, just of how cool it looks. It is so entertaining to just go from the beginning of the video to the end of the video and just look at the difference. Please do watch the whole video, but if you do want to see the difference from the beginning to the end and see how much work I actually get done during the videos, go ahead. Because why not? The more you interact with my videos, the better I do. So likes, comments, the better it helps. I even love when people ask me questions in my comments. It is so entertaining and so fun. It gives me gratification that I'm doing as much as I can to get to my goals. I do need more watch hours in order to do any form of successful YouTube anything. Like if I wanted to be able to get sent donations through YouTube, or if I wanted people to be able to have special content that they could pay for, I would need to hit a certain amount of watch hours. I am at 1,900 watch hours. I used to be at 1,980. Thank you for being patient with that, because my brain doesn't think properly. I went down by about 80 watch hours in the past week because I got ill and couldn't post as much, but also because my views went down by a lot. So it really did hurt my feelings, realizing not a lot of people were actively interacting with my content. Because I'll interact back with you guys as like my fans. Usually if it's just a compliment, I'll heart the comment. But if it's like a genuine question, I will give you suggestions. I will talk to you, give you ideas. The thing is, I was actually reading my comments while at work, because there's like this 20-minute window where I can't clean floors or do any of the putting away stuff because it's not time yet. And we have specific time blocks to get everything done. And so I'm just there sitting and waiting. And if there's no customers during those 20 minutes, then I'm just bored the whole time. And I would rather not be sitting there just being bored the whole time. So I read my comments sometimes while at work. But It's not like I'm the only one on my phone, okay? I look in the office, my manager's also on her phone, so guess what? We still get everything done by exactly 11 o'clock. Also, anyone who comes after 10 o'clock and expects us to have any sandwiches left, the time that we finish cooking all of the chicken for the rest of the night is 9 o'clock. Unless we get like 16 pieces ordered at like 9 o'clock type thing. But otherwise, we usually don't have that much chicken and have to throw out or debone. We don't throw out any chicken on the bone. We debone all of it. But if it's a fillet, we don't have any after about 9:30 because they're shriveled up, gross, and past their wait time. Their tags expired last hour. We don't have fillets that late at night, no matter what, because they are shriveled up, dried out, and gross. We are not going to sell you something that is unedible. Our tenders are still fresh because we can still fry those from 10 o'clock up until 10 o'clock because those don't take very much time and we can just put them in a fry basket. If they can fit in a fry basket, we usually can. Fillets we can't, and on the bone chicken we can't. But on the bone chicken lasts a lot longer than our fillets. Our fillets dry out so much faster. I don't know why they dry out faster, but all of our chicken on the bone is pressure cooked rather than fried, which is probably why it dries out. Our tenders, we usually make them a lot later, but we don't do that with our we do it with our tenders and our nuggets because those are really easy to make and we always can just put some down. But with our fillets, it takes a lot more prep. And we don't have any fresh ones after 9 o'clock. And they keep bothering us about sandwich. Order it earlier in the night. Otherwise, we won't have any. Or it's going to be really gross and dried up and not taste good enough. And we want to sell you good chicken, not bad chicken. Because that's our job, is to sell you good food. Which is why I always have to say no, even if we do technically have a fillet. Until 10:30, we won't sell any fillets if we still have them. And we reserve them specifically for online orders only. But after 10:30, all of them are dried out and gross, so we just don't sell them because they're gross. They look so bad. We're not going to give you a sandwich after that time unless you ordered it online. And if you've ever ordered a sandwich online from KFC past a certain time, I know for certain that shit probably tasted awful. Getting chicken earlier than 9 o'clock, I promise you, it's going to be the most delicious thing. But anything after that, the quality just declines until 11. It just gets worse and worse the closer you get to close. I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, though. I'm pretty sure the only KFCs that are actually open later than 11 is the Taco Bell KFC, because they have breakfast items, so they have to be open longer. Also, if my KFC ever turns into a Taco Bell KFC, almost every single person's gonna quit. We're not gonna do that. Unfortunately, that is actually how you're gonna get a whole team to quit, is if they turn our KFC into a Taco Bell KFC, because none of us want to do Taco Bell items. As much as I love Taco Bell, I'd rather just order it online and not make it. Unless they're planning to have 2 separate staffs and give us twice as many hours to have people on. But it was already hard enough to get the staff that we currently have. And all of the people we recently have been hiring suck at their job and don't listen. How hard is it to listen to someone? Not at all. And usually when someone tells you something, it's a good idea to listen because that means you're being stupid or doing something weird. I just had a coworker get fired because he wasn't listening or helping the manager, which is hilarious, but also valid. And insubordination means you can get fired. Listen to your managers. It's not that hard. He actually asked why I was so abrasive and honest, and my answer is, I'm just like that. I'm trying to be helpful. I'm trying to be helpful. Like, he didn't understand. I'm genuinely trying to be helpful. And he was complaining that he wasn't trained properly on anything, and I'm like, you don't need to be trained on it. You need to physically do it to learn how to do it. If you don't physically try to do it, you're gonna do it wrong every single time. I learned the line within a week. I learned the register within a week. And I got moved to drive-thru within a week. Not because I'm smarter than everyone, but because I learned and I listened and I followed instructions. It's not that hard to follow simple instructions. And if you think it's hard to follow simple instructions, get a different job, okay? You clearly can't do fast food if you can't follow simple instructions. You're actually probably mentally disabled and probably should get some psychological help to see if you can get your mind sorted out, you know? It's not that hard to follow simple instructions. I gave one of my friends a backhanded compliment, and I still got, like, the, oh my goodness, they complimented you. And he was like, that was only half a compliment, because they called me easy. Easy, but awesome. Is easy an insult? To some people, clearly. Coming from me, my coworkers will take that as a compliment because that's the nicest thing I'm ever gonna say about them. I actually love all my coworkers, but I can tell them things that they're, like, easy for. One of my managers, she can't do certain things without help. That's not her fault. She's never been taught the systems and stuff, but she does forgive a lot of the things that I say because she knows I'm trying to be nice and helpful. I'm just really bad at articulating what I mean. She was like, try again. You got this. A lot of my managers let me off the clock a lot when it comes to how bad I am at talking to people, and they know it. They know I genuinely am trying to be nice. And I just am so bad at that. So my manager, he wasn't, I just didn't want him to clean the fry well, because I knew if he did, he'd get crumbs all over the floor that I just swept. And it would just be a whole ordeal of me having to sweep all of it again. And so I took it upon myself to do it instead. And was like, see how I didn't get crumbs on the floor? Oh my god. Started laughing because it was so incredibly mean. But I was genuinely being like, this is how you're supposed to do it, so it doesn't happen again. But also trying to let him know calmly that please don't get crumbs on my floor. I worked very hard to sweep it properly. And also yelled at him for not listening to me about my scheduling, because yes, I am a student. Yes, I need more time to do my schoolwork, because I am a little bit slow. I'm mentally slow. In some ways. I can be quick-witted, sure, but I'm not good at thinking in the right order. Like, if I'm trying to say something I mean, I won't initially say it in the nicest way. Not because I want to be mean, but because that's the fastest my brain could come up with a way to articulate how I feel. And it doesn't work out all the time into something polite. But it always comes back to the fact that I don't know how to talk to people because I've never been socialized properly. Because every single person I've ever met usually gave me backhanded compliments and was using really sarcastic, mean things and talking to me in a rude way. People were very mean to me in high school and in my childhood. I didn't know I was getting bullied because I couldn't tell the difference between honesty and mean. So now my initial reaction is to just repeat how I was socialized. And being socialized by bullies, but being a good person still, makes it really hard for me to articulate what I mean into something nice. Because I don't fully understand how to be nice properly. So it is a struggle, and I'm slowly learning, but it takes me a bit. And my coworkers know this, they understand this, they know that I'm not intentionally being harmful, that I'm just trying to be helpful, and I don't know how to do it properly. And they understand that. But it's definitely because of how I was socialized as a child. And the people I was around, they weren't nice to me. They never were. Because they knew I wouldn't understand that they were being mean. And as soon as they found out that I did not understand the difference between mean and honest, they used that to their advantage. And it wasn't nice. Because they were using my genuine kindness and innocence as a way to attack others and bully them. I never intentionally wanted anyone to get hurt, but I did not understand how to socialize properly or how to treat people that I cared about kindly, which led me to be quite abusive to those I actually cared about, which sucks, you know? And it's why I don't have a lot of friends, is because I didn't know I was hurting their feelings because they wouldn't tell me how to treat them or that I was hurting them. And that hurt me in the end when I found out, because I was like, I was trying to be nice. And I was trying to be friendly. I was trying to joke and be funny because I thought it would make you laugh, not hurt you. But if I do hurt someone, it hurts me too. And it sucks because I was never taught how to talk to people properly. And it takes me so much longer to socialize than if I just was given a normal brain and processing system. I can only work with what I was taught. And I wasn't taught much. I would like to be better at understanding people. And you'll get to see my journey of figuring out how to person properly. Because it's a journey. And it takes time. And I can assure you, no one starts with just understanding people. We learn from each other, which is why it's so important to teach children the difference between the meanings and tones behind words. But I've always been tone deaf. So, not understanding tone and how it means and affects people really hurt them. And I've really hurt some people's feelings. And I always think back to how they reacted. And I analyze those situations so that they can't happen again. I didn't know some of my comments were hurting one of my friends and giving her a bad body image. Made me feel like shit when I realized what was going wrong. But I didn't know how to articulate helpful information while saying, woohoo, you're doing great. Because I really wanted to support her. Because I believe in people and their goals. Like my girlfriend, she doesn't have to go on a diet. I like her the way she is. But if she does want to go on a diet, that's on her. She can do it, and I'll support her through it. Because it's up to her what she does with her body. If she consents to getting any type of information, we shall be helpful. If she thinks we're being too much, we'll back off. Because I love her. And she's a part of a great friend group, and we all care about her. And she is one of us now. She's so gorgeous. I knew from the day I met her, the day I saw her, that I wanted her to stay around and be a part of my life, even if I couldn't be with her. I didn't mind if I just had to be the friend and be helpful. I just wanted her in my life. It didn't matter how she was in my life, but I wanted her to be in my life. But that also goes to how I feel about love. And if you truly love someone, it doesn't matter how they're involved in your life, you just want them around no matter what. Even if they're just a friend, or if it's the wrong time, you just want them around. If you truly love someone, you want to support them in any decision they make, no matter what. Because you care how they feel so much more. That was how I was taught about love. And how I grew up perceiving love. It doesn't matter who they love, as long as you support them and want to be there for them. Because you love them genuinely. You don't need anything from them. You just want to see them do good things. You want to support them, see them be lifted up, see them reach their goals. That's love to me. That's how I've always perceived love. Is if you really love someone, you will support them in any goals they decide. And support them. Even if it's just emotionally, even if you can't physically be there, you might want to be there more. Sure. But you want them in your life, even if you're not physically in their life. That's love. I don't physically need or want a person to love them, because physical things like sex and stuff, I don't necessarily need them from a person I love. Sure, I'd want them, but only if they want them too. Anyway, peace, love, have a good day, my fab fans, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!